Most Lexus owners believe their car is nearly indestructible. And honestly, they're not wrong to think that. Lexus has spent decades earning one of the strongest reliability reputations in the entire automotive world. But here's what most owners don't realize. A Lexus isn't maintenance-free, it's forgiving. And there's a difference. Push that forgiveness far enough, and what looked like a $400 repair quietly becomes a $4,000 one. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 7 things every Lexus owner needs to understand right now, before one of them catches you completely off guard. Before we get into the list, let's talk about why Lexus has this reputation in the first place, because it actually matters for understanding everything else in this video. Lexus was launched by Toyota in 1989 with one specific goal: build a luxury car that could compete with Mercedes and BMW, but actually last. Toyota's engineering philosophy has always been rooted in what they call Kaizen, continuous, disciplined improvement. They over-engineer for longevity, understress their powertrains, and run exhaustive real-world testing before anything reaches a dealership floor. The result? Engines that routinely see 250,000 to 300,000 miles. Transmissions that don't need to be rebuilt at 150,000. Interiors that hold up far better than most German counterparts at the same age. But here's the nuance most owners miss. A Lexus builds cars with more complexity than a standard Toyota. More features, more electronics, more sensors, more luxury systems, all of which means more potential failure points as the miles add up. The engine might never let you down, but the adaptive suspension, the infotainment stack, the air conditioning compressor, those are different conversations entirely. So the question isn't whether your Lexus is reliable, it is. The question is whether you understand what that reliability actually depends on. Why Lexus engines last so long, and what still kills them. Let's start with the engine, because this is where the Lexus reputation is most justified, and also where the most preventable damage happens. Lexus uses a combination of conservative power tuning and tight manufacturing tolerances. Their 2GR-F EV6, used in models like the RX 350, ES 350, and IS 350, is one of the most overbuilt 6-cylinders ever put into a passenger car. The same basic architecture has been in production for nearly 2 decades without fundamental redesigns, because it doesn't need them. But there's one thing that quietly destroys these engines faster than anything else: extended oil change intervals. Lexus moved to a 10,000-mile oil change recommendation years ago. The problem is that a lot of owners drive in conditions, short trips, stop-and-go traffic, or extreme heat, that degrade oil far faster than that interval assumes. If you're running conventional oil to 10,000 miles in city driving, you're running dirty oil for the last 3,000 to 4,000 of those miles. Over time, that accelerates wear on the variable valve timing system, specifically the VVVTI actuators, which are expensive to replace and entirely preventable to protect. The practical advice is simple. If you drive mostly in town, change your oil every 5,000 miles. Use full synthetic. Your engine will thank you at 200,000, but the engine is really only the beginning of the story, because the next thing most Lexus owners don't realize directly affects some of the most popular models on the road right now. Hybrid battery longevity. Truth versus myth. The Lexus ES 300H, RX 450H, UX 250H. Hybrid models have become increasingly common in the used market, and a lot of buyers are nervous about one thing: the battery pack. Here's what's actually true. Lexus hybrid batteries are exceptionally durable. Unlike plug-in hybrids or full EVs, Lexus uses a self-managing nickel-metal hydride system, or in newer models, lithium-ion, that never fully charges and never fully depletes. It lives in the middle of its charge range constantly, which is exactly where battery chemistry is most stable. Real-world data shows these packs regularly hitting 200,000 miles without failure. Some owners are at 250,000 and still on the original pack. Here's what's not always true: the assumption that they never fail. Heat is the primary enemy. If you're in a hot climate, Texas, Arizona, Florida, and you park outside year-round, You are slowly degrading your pack faster than someone in a milder region. It won't fail tomorrow, but it may fail at 160,000 instead of 220,000. The practical move for hybrid owners is this. Get a battery state of health check at any Lexus dealer around 100,000 miles. It's not expensive, and it gives you a real number instead of a guess. Also worth knowing, a replacement Lexus hybrid battery from a dealer typically runs between $2,500 and $4,500 depending on the model. Third-party refurbished packs are available for less with reasonable reliability. This is a known cost, not a catastrophic surprise if you plan for it. But the bigger financial blind spot for Lexus owners isn't the hybrid battery. It's something that shows up much earlier, and most people never see it coming. The maintenance mistakes that cut Lexus longevity in half. There's a specific pattern that plays out with Lexus ownership, and it goes something like this. Someone buys a used Lexus at 80,000 miles, assumes it's bulletproof, and defers the maintenance they'd normally do on a lesser car. 3 years later, they're looking at a repair bill that exceeds what they paid for the vehicle. The three most commonly neglected services on high-mileage Lexus vehicles are the transmission fluid, the coolant system, and the spark plugs on direct injection V6 and V8 engines. On transmission fluid, Lexus uses the same fluid for life claim that most modern manufacturers use. In practice, lifetime means the life of the factory warranty, not the life of the car. By 100,000 miles, one automatic transmission fluid in any Lexus has been heat cycled hundreds of times. Changing it at 90,000 to 100,000 miles is inexpensive insurance. Rebuilding the transmission after it fails from degraded fluid is not. On the coolant system, the GS, LS, and IS lines with higher output engines run genuinely hot. Coolant degrades over time, loses its corrosion inhibitors, and begins slowly attacking aluminum components from the inside. A coolant flush every 5 years is cheap. A compromised water pump or corroded block is not. On spark plugs, modern Lexus engines use iridium plugs rated for 60,000 miles. Some owners push them to 90,000 or beyond. Misfires on a direct injection engine cause carbon buildup on intake valves that is expensive and time-consuming to clean. Replace the plugs on schedule. None of these are dramatic failures, when all of them are entirely avoidable. And yet they're the most common reason a Lexus with 150,000 miles looks like a problem, when it's really just a car that needed a little attention. And speaking of attention, one area where Lexus owners consistently overpay deserves its own section. The models that are secretly cheaper to maintain. Not all Lexus models cost the same to own. This is one of the least discussed facts in the ownership community, and it has a real impact on your long-term costs. The IS300 with the 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder is quietly one of the most expensive Lexus vehicles to maintain per mile. The turbo adds heat stress, the engine is shared with performance applications, and replacement parts are disproportionately expensive relative to the car's base price. On the other end, the ES350 is one of the cheapest luxury sedans in its class to actually own. It shares nearly its entire mechanical architecture with the Toyota Camry and Avalon. Parts are widely available, labor is straightforward, and independent mechanics can service it without specialized equipment. Over 100,000 miles, the ES350 owner typically spends hundreds less per year than an IS or GS owner doing equivalent maintenance. The RX350 holds a similar advantage for SUV buyers. It's mechanically uncomplicated, parts supply is excellent, and it has a long service history that mechanics know well. When buying a used Lexus with an eye toward long-term ownership costs, the ES and RX lines are the logical choices. The LS460 and LC500 are the opposite end of the spectrum. Flagship engineering, stunning vehicles, but complex enough that routine service at a dealership carries a significant premium. If you own one, an independent shop that specializes in Lexus is worth finding now, before you need it. Now, what about depreciation? Because this is where Lexus does something almost no other luxury brand does consistently. Why some Lexus models hold their value better than almost any luxury car. The used car market has a concept called retained value. What percentage of a vehicle's original price it holds after 5 years? Most luxury brands depreciate hard. A 5-year-old BMW 5 Series or Mercedes E-Class is typically worth 35 to 45% of its original price. This is partly because the cost of maintaining them out of warranty suppresses demand. The Lexus RX has historically retained around 55 to 60% of its value at 5 years. The GX460 retains even more, consistently one of the top-performing vehicles in retained value across the entire industry, year after year. Why? A few factors working together. The GX and RX both have earned reputations for going high miles without drama, which sustains buyer demand in the used market. And they also attract buyers who specifically don't want a German luxury SUV and its associated maintenance costs. High demand plus low supply of clean examples equals strong residuals. For buyers, this means one thing practically. If you're shopping for a used Lexus specifically because it's a deal, the GX and RX rarely are. You pay for the reputation. If you want genuine value in the used Lexus market, the IS250, often overlooked because it's underpowered compared to the IS300 and IS350, gives you the Lexus experience at a meaningful discount with lower running costs attached. Which brings us to something that confuses a lot of owners when their Lexus finally does need a major repair after 150,000 miles. Expensive repairs. After 200,000 miles, what's normal and what isn't? At a certain point, every car, even a Lexus, starts accumulating repairs that feel significant. The key skill for a high-mileage Lexus owner is knowing the difference between a repair that's worth doing and a repair that signals a turning point. Here's what's completely normal on a well-maintained Lexus above 150,000 miles and worth repairing without hesitation. Water pumps, alternators, power steering pumps, AC compressors, struts and shocks, and throttle body cleaning. These are wear items, not structural failures. The car is sound, the repair is reasonable. Here's what requires more careful thought. Timing chain guides on the 1GR-FEV8 used in GX and LX models have a documented wear pattern that shows up between 120,000 and 160,000 miles, and typically as a rattle on cold start. Catch it with a guide replacement, and it's a $1,200 to $1,800 repair. Ignore it until the timing chain skips and it becomes an engine rebuild or replacement. On ISF and RCF models with the 2URGS EV8, carbon buildup on intake valves is an inevitability by 80,000 to 100,000 miles. Walnut blasting the valves is the standard service, typically running $500 to $800. Skipping it causes rough idle, misfires, and reduced fuel economy that gets progressively worse. The broader principle, a Lexus will tell you something is wrong before it catastrophically fails if you're paying attention. Noises, small shifts in fuel economy, minor hesitation on cold start. These are early warnings, not minor annoyances. And the biggest misconception of all about long-term Lexus ownership is coming up next, and it affects almost every owner. The Toyota versus Lexus reliability myth. Here's the misconception that costs Lexus owners the most money over time. Assuming that because Lexus is built on Toyota engineering, it will be as cheap and simple to maintain as a Toyota. This is not accurate, and understanding why matters. Yes, the core mechanical components, the engine, transmission, axles, are Toyota-derived and Toyota-reliable. But Lexus wraps those components in layers of technology that have no counterpart in the Toyota lineup. Adaptive variable suspension systems, multi-mode steering, Mark Levinson audio amplifiers, self-leveling headlight actuators, and complex climate control systems with dedicated electronic modules for each zone. These systems are not Toyota simple. When an adaptive damper fails on an IS350F Sport, the repair is a Lexus-level cost, not a Camry-level cost. When the pre-collision system sensor goes offline on a late-model ES, recalibration requires dealer-level equipment. The practical takeaway is this: the powertrain is Toyota. Everything around it is Lexus. Budget accordingly. If you're buying a used Lexus, research which luxury features are on the specific trim level you're considering and look up the documented failure rates and repair costs for those specific systems. A base trim Lexus with a clean, mechanical history is almost always a better long-term ownership decision than a fully loaded example with unknown service records. Here's the honest truth about owning a Lexus in 2026. These cars are genuinely extraordinary pieces of engineering. With proper maintenance, consistent oil changes, fluid services at the right intervals, early attention to anything unusual, a Lexus can realistically reach 300,000 miles still running the original engine and transmission. That's not marketing. That's documented. But the cars that make it there aren't the ones with the best luck. They're the ones whose owners understood the car, respected the maintenance schedule, and treated early warning signs as early warning signs instead of minor inconveniences. A Lexus isn't a car that runs forever by default. It's a car that rewards discipline with decades of reliable service. The owners who figure that out early are the ones who never have a bad ownership story to tell. Drop a comment below. What year is your Lexus and how many miles are on it? I'm genuinely curious how far some of you have taken these cars.